Do you sometimes pinch yourself?
Yeah, all the time.
And
Every day I wake up and go, how are we here? How has this happened? Why has this happened? Who's allowed this to happen?
Right.
You know, it just does not make sense. And how is everybody so scared when not a single piece of science backs up the inclusion of anyone that's gone through male puberty into women's sport as being fair? We've got 18 studies in the world. The last came out of Brazil in September of last year, one of the biggest. And that showed even after 14 years of reducing testosterone, we still had no parity between people that were male and female. There was still hardly any loss of advantage. So, you know, the truth is that they are male-bodied, and that will never change. Their biological sex will always be male, no matter how much testosterone they reduce, no matter how much plastic surgery they might choose to have. And again, that doesn't happen in sport. They don't have plastic surgery. They don't have genitals removed, you know, and in a lot of cases, they try to reduce testosterone for incredibly short periods of time. Like Leah Thomas, you know, with the NC2As, Leah was asked to reduce her testosterone levels to 10 nanomoles of testosterone per litre. Well, that's 10 times what I have. And that was only for 1 year. I mean, so the difference is just ridiculous. That person goes from being 460th in America, not in the world. In the world, they would be not in the top 2,000. In America, 200 to being number one and beating 3 American silver medalists in the space of a year. So, I mean, a very mediocre male athlete becomes a very elite female athlete. And all those elite female athletes that spent 10 years of their life making huge sacrifices are just expected to step aside.
It's funny you say that, because we just had comedian Simon Evans on the show, who in his latest show, he talked about having problems with his testosterone levels. And he had to get testosterone replacement. And when he was at his bottom, he qualified to compete in women's competitions. And you just go, this doesn't make any sense.
No, it makes no sense. And it's also a bit like, you know, like boiling an egg. So once someone who's male's gone through puberty, you can't unboil that egg.
Right.
So reducing testosterone doesn't make any difference. You know, it might mean you don't get any bigger or any faster, but then it's all relative to how much training you do anyway. So or how much injury you've got, or all sorts of different variables, you know, that are involved in someone's physical performance and whether they're, you know, a scale of 1 to 10. And yeah, just suppressing testosterone in no shape or form, you know, makes it fair competition.
Sharron, and you've mentioned about the science, and we've touched on it a little bit. So let's do a deep dive into it. What is the difference between someone like a Leah Thomas and someone like a Riley Gaines?
Yeah, good knowledge. I like it. So Riley and Leah tie for 5th place, and that's where Riley's got all this bravery from, because she was asked to literally not accept her trophy and was told that the trophy could go to Leah and Riley would have to wait for hers. You know, and I think I'm so proud of her for doing that, because it's really hard as a competing athlete to come at the beginning of your career when you can be blacklisted so bad to go forward in your career. I mean, the university was horrendous. It blackmailed all its athletes who were being asked to change next to a 6'4" biologically male with full male genitalia, and were told that they would be sent to a psychiatrist if they complained. That's what the University of Pennsylvania said.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's like that's the stuff they used to do in the Soviet Union. Is like, if you don't agree with us, you go to the psych hospital.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's insane. It's seriously insane. It's so depressing that was what came out of America. That, you know, it really is. And so Riley's been very brave to come forward and to speak. The difference at Olympic level in sport is between about 10 and 30%. So something like middle distance running is 10%. Weightlifting is up there at 30%. So the more explosive an event is, the more the difference between male and female biology. Something like high jump, long jump, quite explosive, about 22%. A male of equal weight will hit 160% harder than a female. And that's onto a female bone structure, which is less dense. Women have a bigger Q angle because of the size of our hips. So that means that we end up with 6 times more knee injuries in things like football, because we obviously have this angle. But it means that a male will have more ability to put power through their legs on things like sprinting, on striding, on a bike in particular. It's a big advantage. So these are all things that reducing testosterone makes no difference to whatsoever. So it's massive. You know, when you think that the 9% that these German women meant that they were unbelievably dominant to the point of 92% of all the European medals, and 10% is the lowest that we've got, you know, presently between male and female performance. Yeah, I mean, it's catastrophic. It means that half a length of the pool. And Olympic medals are won by hundredths of a second.
So, and also as well, there's a lung capacity issue as well.
Yeah, lung capacity, hemoglobin levels, hands, feet, you know, Leah Thomas, 6'4", huge, great hands, huge, great feet. Those are your paddles. So, you know, all of those things. Yes, there is the odd, very tall female, but you know, 6'4" in swimming for a man is fairly average. That's not average for a woman. The women is about 6 foot. We're a tall breed. I mean, each sport, let's be honest, you've only got to look at the Olympic Games. You know, you don't get 6'4" gymnasts.
No.
You don't get, you know, 4'6" basketball players or volleyball players. So to be the best in the world, your physiology has pretty much got to be right to do that sport. Mm-hmm. So yes, swimmers are fairly tall, but we're not that tall. You know, women are on the whole about 5. I'm 5'10", so 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot. Most female sprinters will be around that. Distance swimmers can be a little bit shorter, but the guys are often 6'4", 6'5", 6'6".